and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Capricorn daily energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not, especially since this is a general reading. All right, we're going to be looking at what you may possibly be struggling with. So we have the Eight of Swords. We have the Five of Swords and we have the Two of Swords. So there's a lot of swords energy going on for you. So definitely it could be that you're in your head a lot, that you're almost creating. When we get in our head too much, then we start working against ourselves. And we start overthinking. And we start letting what other people have to say, you're starting to let what other people have to say affect you. And you're having trouble moving forward and you're having trouble making a decision. Because it's almost like you're paralyzed by these thoughts that are in your head. That it's almost like you're being overwhelmed with so many different things, and you're thinking about so many different things, and you're going in so many different directions with your thoughts. And I feel like there's something that keeps replaying in your head that someone else told you. There's something that someone said to you that really, I feel like it triggered you. It triggered you in a negative way. And you keep replaying it in your head. And that could be a form, of course, I'm not a doctor or a therapist, but it could be a form of self-sabotaging. If you keep replaying something that is negative in your head, I do feel that this is negative because we have this Eight of Swords here, because it's holding you back. You're feeling stuck. You're surrounded by all of these thoughts that you have going on. And you're not able to see, because this person has a blindfold on, is that you're not really able to see how this is affecting you in a negative way, and it's causing you to hold yourself back. And it could be a form of self-sabotage, and you keep replaying this to keep yourself in this Eight of Swords energy, and it's keeping you held back because you keep replaying it. You're so busy replaying it that it's almost like you're not really sure what to do. It's almost like you're keeping yourself stuck in this form of just replaying something. Yes, you're going through your day, but I feel like this is always on your mind. This is something that you're always thinking about, whatever this person had to say. I feel like they definitely had some negative things to say with this Five of Swords. And I feel that it's hard for you to just kind of take what you can from the situation and move on. And that you just keep replaying it. For some reason, I'm seeing these cards. I just kind of go with the flow. I don't really have any particular pattern or way things have to go. For some reason, this deck is catching my eye. Maybe that card right there. All right, so I feel like it's saying pull some more cards for Capricorn with what they're dealing with, what they're struggling with. Is there anything else that... Okay. All right, I feel like that's... So we had the Lovers come out. Okay, so this could have to do with something that you really loved, or it could have to do with a relationship. We have the Sun card that came out face up. So happiness within a relationship. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Six of Pentacles, sharing, yeah. And then Nine of Cups. Definitely, I feel like the Nine of Cups is coming out a lot for Capricorn, and I feel the reason why it is because the universe is trying to get you into this Nine of Cups energy, and for you to have this Nine of Cups, the universe wants you, like, to give you this Nine of Cups. Like, it's there, it's yours for the taking, you can have it. But first you have to work on this, right? First you have to clear this through your head. First you have to believe that you deserve this Nine of Cups, that you deserve this Nine of Cups and however many more that want to come in or you want to have come into your life. And that's what you have to start with. Like, this is here, it's within your grasp, it's right here in your reading. It's saying this is what you're having trouble with, right? That you're not believing in yourself, that you're having these doubts, that you're doing this self-sabotaging, that you're working against yourself, that you're too much in your head. Again, take what resonates, leave what does not. If this does not resonate with you, that's fine. But it's there for the taking, and like you're working against yourself towards this. It's right there. Like it's right here. It wants you to have that. I feel that the reason why what this person had to say affected you so much was because you care about this person. And I feel like that's why the Lovers card has come out. If you didn't care about the person, you wouldn't care what it is that they had to say, or it's someone that you want their respect, or you want that person's approval. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's, it could be a negative person or a positive person, that, it could be this person that maybe it's an unhealthy relationship and you keep trying to seek approval from this person, but it's like you don't need that approval from that person. The only one you need approval from is yourself. And I feel like that's why it's affected you so much, is because you care about this person and like you want things to be settled. You want things to be happy. You want things to work out. You want to have this Nine of Cups with this person. But I feel like you need to look at and say, is this really someone that deserves to that deserves to share my Nine of Cups, that deserves like my love, deserves my affection, deserves to be in this Lovers card with me. Like, it could be a friend, a family member, a partner, whatever, not like your lovers, but that you have that affection towards, right? That you have that caring and that affection and that love towards. And to really ask yourself, is this person that really deserves this, right? Is this someone that I want to have this connection with, that I want to have a positive connection with and have this Nine of Cups with? I do feel that you have, with the Page of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, I feel like there's some sharing that needs to go on. I feel like there's some communication that needs to go on. I feel that that's part of the problem as to why you're kind of shutting down and why, like, something has gone on that is affecting you, that is making you feel sad, that is making you feel distant, that is making you feel hurt, and is giving you this confusion and that you keep replaying in your mind. But I feel like this is something that you also have to have that communication with that person in order to work through it, in order to figure out, okay, like, why is this bothering me? Obviously, I feel like you care about this person and that you want to have this person in your life, but I also feel it's to reassess, does that person deserve to be in your life? And I feel that if they do, I do feel like you're having trouble communicating. Like, I feel like you're trying to start and head in a good place, but I feel like it's just not happening. So let's look at the advice from the tarot for Capricorn. We have the Three of Cups. Okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune. That's what I was kind of feeling. And we have the Six of Swords. All right, so the advice from the tarot is the Three of Cups, it's the Wheel of Fortune, and it's the Six of Cups. So I feel that the advice from the tarot is really saying that it's time to bring some change in. And I feel that that's also what is happening for Capricorn, is it's time to really change those things that aren't working for us, that are holding us back. And sometimes it's relationships or situations that we really do love and we really do care for, but we just know that it's a toxic situation and that it's not helping us to achieve our Nine of Cups, whatever that may represent, even if it's just represents emotional fulfillment within yourself and finding peace within yourself and saying, I don't want to be stressed about this all the time. So I feel like it's saying also surround yourself with positive people, surround yourself with that community that helps to lift you up. I feel that, you have to bring change into your life, to not wait for, you can have the support of other people that help you with your choices and your changes that you want to bring in. But I also feel like it's you're responsible for these changes. And I feel like it's time for you to get yourself into a calmer place. I feel like you have a lot of anxiety and a lot of thoughts and a lot of confusion going on with this and a lot of stress. And it's, the tarot is saying, is to find that place where you find this peacefulness or this calmness, or that you're not always having to deal with this, that it's time to like make those changes with that wheel card. And I feel, as far as the Three of Cups, I feel that it represents many different things, which is surrounding yourself with that positive community. Again, as I've said many times before, what is that social media that you are exposing yourself? Is it positive, motivational social media, or is it things that make you feel worse about your life or your situation? Like, take note of that. Being aware of what you're surrounding yourself with. Or do you have things in your living space that are triggering you in a negative way or remind you of something? Like, it's just like, look at those things that you are doing, that you are putting yourself in. Are you surrounding yourself with positive people that you're having conversations with? I also feel like it's to celebrate change and being able to move away from this and moving even closer towards your Nine of Cups. I also feel that it's about celebrating yourself for stepping up to the plate and bringing in change, and feeling happier, right? Feeling more positive. All right, so what is coming in for Capricorn when they bring in these changes, this wheel? Queen of Cups. Okay, so I feel like it's feeling emotionally better. I feel like it's reassessing what it is that you're doing. Again, just like I was saying earlier, is looking at what are those, where are you spending your time? Are you spending time like doing hobbies or doing things that bring you happiness, right? Instead of endlessly scrolling through social media. I feel like sometimes we just don't take accountability as how much time we actually spend doing that. I'm guilty of it. I like to play my games on the phone. I like to scroll through social media, but I'm also very aware of how much time I'm doing it, and that if I feel that I'm doing it too much, like I make an effort to move on from it. I also feel like it's kind of reassessing maybe this relationship. What I was saying earlier is kind of that, like this future energy coming in, is that you kind of really look at you assess your emotions and your feelings, and you say, is this really something that I want to work on? Is this something that I want to put more effort towards and have that back and forth in that communication? Is this something that is important to me, that even though you've spent a lot of time building this relationship up, is this something that you feel that you want to continue? And sometimes things have to come to an end. And again, we have the Six of Pentacles, where I feel like you realize that it's important for yourself to be able to communicate, to be able to have that back and forth. And then the overall energy we have for you, I love this, is the Ace of Pentacles. So aces is new beginnings, and I feel like it can represent stability. I also feel like it's new opportunities coming in for you. When you feel that you are in a good place, when you are in a calm place, when you feel that you are feeling good about your life, you're more willing to look at new opportunities. You're more willing to continue those changes that you've already made and working towards this Nine of Cups, right? With this Ace of Pentacles, and you're realizing, why should you spend so much time being in your head and holding yourself back with all of this sword energy here and feeling this confusion? Why are you doing that? And what are those things that you can do, you know, like in spending more time focusing on your Nine of Cups and working towards that, right? Working towards those goals. Yes, we all have to go through those trying times. Maybe this is like you're kind of shedding that skin, right? That you're moving into this new you, and some things we have to let go of, some things we have to put behind us. It could be patterns on how we handle things, how we deal with things. It could be relationships. It could be jobs. It could be lots of different things, because we're all unique and we're all on our own path. And that's the biggest thing, is that we all have to realize is that we're all on our own path. To not compare ourselves in a negative way towards other people. But if you see someone that you feel is in a place where you would like to be, use that energy to empower you to work towards that goal, but not have to do it exactly the way that they've done it. And maybe ask them questions like, how did you do it? You know, what did you do to work? Even if it's someone that we see on social media that you're really like, wow, I really love where they're at in their life. And it's like, are they telling part of their story and how they had those struggles and how they've worked on things, and you know, the challenges that they have, or the mindset, or the tools that they have, which I always say, use those tools that you have to help you on your journey. Find those things, make an effort to find those things, that what's going to help you. Things that maybe helped you in the past, maybe they're not working for you now, so try something different, do something different. Don't just stop and settle in this Eight of Swords energy. You have to push yourself. And I know that it's hard, especially when you're struggling. You feel like you don't want to do anything. You're just like, I just want to give up. But that's when you have to show yourself and prove to yourself the most on how strong you are and how resilient you are, and how that you want better for yourself, and that you want to push through, and you want to reach this Nine of Cups, that you don't want this Nine of Cups in where you're struggling with. You want this Nine of Cups of over here where it's happening, it's coming in, it's coming to fruition. Let's grab some advice from the Animal Oracle here. I feel like this one right here. Oh, I love it. Perfect. We have Be Spirit, sweet results await. I love it. And definitely sweet results do await for you. But you have to put yourself in that mindset, right? Of, again, like I said before, this Nine of Cups, perfect. It wants to come in for you. It wants you to have it. It wants you to be in this energy. There's some things that you have to work on first. Like I said earlier, it could be that mental attitude. It could be that, you know, definitely mental, right? What you're thinking about with all of these swords, with what you're struggling with, and focusing on what's important for you, who and what deserves your time, your energy, and your effort, and who and what doesn't. Sometimes it's tough choices that we have to make, right? It's tough choices, but knowing that you're working towards sweet results, or working towards that Nine of Cups, that's what you have to keep in mind. It's like, I know that when I do this, that I'm going to be better. I'm actually selling my horse. I've had my horse for 5.5 years, and it's gotten to the point where I need to sell my horse. But I also feel like that's closing one door, but it's opening up a new chapter for me. It's opening up some new things for me. It's opening up, you know, just feelings within myself, and also my focus and my time. And I feel like it's the right thing. I know it's the right thing to do. And yeah, it's really hard. Like, I love my horse, and I love all of the time that we spend together. But it's time to move on. It's time. I have to, you know, it's time to make some changes. It's time to do different things, and it's time to shift the focus. And it's a hard thing to do, but I know it's the right thing to do in order to bring in these changes that I want, in order to bring in my Nine of Cups. So again, it can be negative things, or like I was saying earlier, it could be things that we love, or relationships that are important, but we just know that it's come to an end. Let's grab advice from Star Dragons for Capricorn for this reading. I kind of feel like this one. We have choice, understanding consequences. So I kind of feel like this goes back to the Two of Swords. It's kind of, the advice is, again, understanding those consequences, that, yeah, sometimes we have to be really strong and step up to the plate and make some tough and hard decisions. And sometimes we really have to look within and say, how do I bring emotional fulfillment within myself? How do I take control of this situation? And how do I change these things up so that I can feel calmer. I can feel peace within myself, right? That I can help myself through this. That I can take control of my life and create the life that I've always wanted and I know that I deserve, right? That abundance. We have reliable, being able to rely on yourself. I always say this is a big one with this reliable one, is being able to trust yourself and saying, am I really looking out for myself? Am I self-sabotaging myself, or am I looking out for myself? And am I making the best choices and decisions for myself? Sometimes, I definitely know that I have not made the best choices for myself, but it's looking at that and saying, okay, how can I change this? What can I learn from it? What can I do differently next time around? And being able to trust yourself, right? Do you trust yourself to make the right choices and decisions for yourself in order to attain that 9 of Cups? And be honest with yourself when you ask yourself that question, right? Look at patterns that you've done, choices that you've made, right? No, they haven't always been perfect, but are there choices that didn't work out the way that you thought or wanted? And can you learn from that, right? To not repeat patterns. Let's grab a Whispers of Love card here for you. We have patience. Love is patient and kind always. So I feel like it's being patient for those changes. I feel like it's definitely, the first thing I thought is about loving yourself. And that is something that is going to take time. Loving anyone, especially if you have a lot of walls up, if you have a lot of guards up, if you have this 8 of Swords that is around you, that it's going to be more challenging for you. That it's going to be, but if you're aware of it and you're patient and you say, you know what, that it's going to come, that I'm working on it, and I realize the things that I need to focus on, and I realize those things that I need to let go of, right? And being patient. If it's a relationship that you're working on with this person, right, and you want to have that lover's energy and that connection with that person, is that I feel that there's a lot that's been created between the two of you. So there's a lot that has to be worked through, right? That if you have this negativity, if you have these negative thoughts, if you have these negative feelings, is that it's going to take some time to get back on track with those, right? And to refocus with those. We have the Strength card, and it's power, and it's finding that power and strength within yourself, right? You have that power, you have that strength. It's time for you to unleash that. That's kind of the word that came to mind. Unleash that power that you have within yourself. Embrace that power. Sometimes when we feel like everything is going against us, we feel very weak. And that's when we need to embrace that power and that inner strength that we have the most. Definitely, I've been going through a lot of things lately, especially with, having to sell my horse. And I do feel a sense of weakness, but I, get up and I do those things, those tools that I have to help to motivate me. I went out on my deck this morning. It was actually at 6 a.m, and I was looking up at the stars, and I was, thanking the universe for all of the enlightenment and the positivity and the strength to get through, what I'm going through right now. And it just felt really good, right? Just to early in the morning, it's still dark out, the stars are out, the moon was out. It was really, really cool. There was like a sliver of the moon out, and it was just so amazing and so peaceful out there. So that's one of the things that I have, is I love being out early in the morning, and it just feels so peaceful and quiet and so amazing. And that's one of the things. And before I did this reading, I have my sage right here, and I saged all of the cards, and I have my abundance candle that I lit, and I wrote, as I said before, I wrote down 3 pages of things that I want to manifest, that I want to bring in, speaking from my future self of what my life is like. I read that. I got my little candle going on here. So it's like, what are those things that you have that can help to motivate you and to help you to work through those times when you feel that you're struggling, right? Sometimes it's the same thing, sometimes it's different things, sometimes it's taking things away, sometimes it's adding things, right? I've also gone back to working as a cashier, which is something I didn't really want to do, but I have to do. And I'm trying to make the best of that too. So it's just like I have to do that. Tonight I'm actually closing, and it's not really what I want to do, but it's like, you know, you have to do it. So it's just like, do it in the best frame of mind possible, and know that I'm not going to have to do this forever, that I'm working towards a goal, and that I'll be able to leave this again, and I'll be able to move on from it. So it's just like, but right now, this is what has to be done, and accepting for what is now, right, in the moment right now. We have fork in the road. Again, I feel like this has kind of come up 3 times between the choice, understanding consequences with the star dragons, and then the wisdom of the oracle. We have fork in the road. So something's come to an end. It's time to make a decision. And then we also have what you're struggling with is that 2 of Swords. So there's definitely a big thing for you is that it's time to make a choice. It's time to make a decision, that it's kind of come to the point where it's like you have to do something. I'm not telling you what you have to do. You have to do what you feels right for you. But the cards that are coming out are saying that it's time to make a decision. It's time for that change. To stop keeping yourself in this 8 of Swords energy. Like, you have the power to make change. Sometimes it seems like there's not an answer, but sometimes I always feel that when I need clarity, I like to, I drive out to the barn. But I'm going to find a new thing. I'm going to start walking with my girls. I have a stroller for them. I'm going to start going to walks. I'm going to start going to the gym. So I'm going to switch that up, right? I may no longer have the barn, but I'm going to add something. I'm not just going to not add something, because I feel that that's important to me. So go to that place where you find that you can find that clarity for yourself, and really think things through and say, what are the changes that I really need to make for myself right now? What are the things that I can control and that I can change? All right, so we're going to grab a crystal for you. So we have rainbow Mayanite, chakra alignment, foundation, and karma. So I love that with the foundation, especially with the Ace of Pentacles that came out, is creating that strong foundation within yourself and being able to rely on yourself, right? Being reliable for yourself and saying, I'm not going to keep myself in a situation that I don't feel comfortable in. Let's see, an exceptionally high vibrational crystal. This crystal allows you to face any challenging karmic patterns and pull out of the drudgery of the past that is ingrained in the energetic bodies. That's perfect, because that's what I feel like is going on here. Maybe this is a karmic pattern that you keep repeating, and now is your time to break that cycle, to change that, right? That drudgery of it's always the same and always feeling this heaviness around you. It heals emotional traumas on every level, rebuilding the foundation for a healthy support system from the inside out. Again, the foundation with the Ace of Pentacles and with the reliable card, that you are reliable, you can rely on yourself, right? And building that support system within yourself, having that strength and that power to say, I can support myself, I can make those changes for myself. Connecting you to your spiritual team, this crystal can guide you in seeing multiple perspectives, offering many solutions. That's what I was, again, talking about earlier, is finding that place that you like to go where you can find that clarity and find different solutions. And sometimes we feel stuck, like there is no answer. There's always a way. There's always some sort of way to get through a solution, to get through a problem. Even if it's a temporary thing that you have to do that you don't really enjoy, like what I'm having to do now, but it is a solution, right? It was a solution to a problem for me, and I'm doing it. And it's feeling good that you found the solution. And if you're doing it and you don't really like it, reminding yourself of all the positive things, right? That, okay, it's helping me to pay my bills. It's helping me to get in more financial security. It's, it's right. So look at the positive side. It's getting me out of the house. I'm having conversations with people. I'm talking with people. So, when you put yourself in the frame of mind of being able to look for the positive things, those positive things start to come more easily. But when you have yourself in a frame of mind of negativity, then you're looking at the negative more. So it's like being able to say, to switch that mindset and say, okay, instead of me looking at all of the things that I hate about this, how do I switch this and say all of the things that are positive about this? Existing in ultimate alignment with the chakras, Rainbow Myonite helps you step into your authentic truth, right? Living your truth, living your 9 of Cups, living the life that you always wanted to live. Don't tell yourself that that's not possible, right? Don't put yourself in that negative. Say it is possible. It is going to happen, right? And that's why I have my 3 pages of what my life, my goals, what I want my life to be, what my life is, right? And that's why, and I keep reading that. I read it, I try and read it every day, at least once a day. And to remind myself and saying it is possible, it can happen. Obviously being realistic with your goals, you know, and believing those things that you're saying, right? That if whatever it is that you're saying or that you're believing and feeling that within yourself is, yes, this is possible. This is going to happen. This will be a reality, right? And it's saying those things and believing that and feeling it within yourself. All right, lots for you to think about. But again, that's why I love the tarot, is sometimes it shows us things that, you know, that we're doing or that we can work on or that we can change or that we can do differently or that wants to come in for us and to show us how strong we are. And maybe we have to reevaluate things or we have to change things or we have to change our perspectives. And that's what I love. And it's also like motivational, right? That you have power, you have strength, right? And with this crystal that came out, that it's trying to help you, right? To energize you and work towards your goals. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I wish you the best on your journey.